Hi everyone, Adam here. Welcome back. In this video, we are going to learn how to calculate t-scores. To participate in this video, you will have needed to have watched the z-scores video, or the video prior to this one, because we will use the z-scores to calculate t-scores. And what t-scores are essentially a way of making z-scores more digestible, at least in the way that we're using them. I've heard the word or the term t-scores in a lot of different contexts. In the context that we're talking about, t-scores is essentially a score from 0 to 100, more or less, that represents a z-score. Instead of looking at negative numbers, which can be confusing, we're just going to normalize the z-scores to be between 0 and 100. Even though that's not exactly what we're doing and there's room for error, that's more or less what we're doing. What we're going to do here is we are going to give the average t-score value a 50, which means that if your average, in whatever the circumstance is, or however we calculate the z-score, which I'll explain in a second, the average is 50. And the average in z-score terms is 0. If you have a z-score of 0, you're about average. If you have a z-score of 1, you're 1 standard deviation above the average. If you have a z-score of -1, you're 1 standard deviation below the average. A z-score of 2, you're 2 standard deviations above the average, so on and so forth. With a t-score, if you have a 0 z-score, you have a 50 t-score, so you're average. And if you have a +2 z-score, you're going to be higher than that. If you have a -2 z-score, you're going to be lower than that, or lower than 50. The rest of this is kind of up to you, and you'll see what I mean in a moment. To start this calculation, or our first t-score calculation, which is going to be comparing the athlete to all other athletes for all other sessions and all other teams combined. Essentially, we're comparing this athlete to every single other event in our database. We're going to go equals 50 plus the z-score, the original z-score, times 10. And click enter. And let's just remove some decimals. And that's it. That's the t-score. What does this mean? Or let's go through an example. If you have a z-score of 0, you're going to get a t-score of 50, your average. If you have a z-score that's high, let's say it's +2, then you're going to get a t-score of 50 plus 2 times 10, or 70. So the only way that you can get a 100 value is if you have a z-score of 5, which is way, way, way above average. And you may never have a z-score of 5. You may never have an athlete with a z-score of 5. So 100 may be unachievable in some data sets. On the other side, or on the flip side, if you have a z-score of -5, you will have a t-score of 0. And just like it's super rare to have a z-score of 5, it'll be super rare to have a z-score of -5, and you may never achieve it. So essentially, this could be a score between 0 and 100, but more likely it is not. It's going to be a score somewhere between 30 and 70, give or take. Maybe a little bit higher and a little bit lower than that. And again, on the flip side, if your data set is not distributed normally, if there are significant outliers, you could have a t-score of greater than 100 or less than 0. For example, if you have an athlete that has a z-score of a 6, they're going to have a t-score of 110, because it's 50 plus 6 times 10, which is 60, so 50 plus 60 is 110. And you have someone with a really low z-score, they're going to have a t-score less than 0. So this number 10, or what we multiply the z-score by, is an arbitrary value that we decided on to make this a score between 0 and 100. If you wanted to make this score between 0 and 10, again, more or less, you could just make the average or a z-score of 0 be equal to 5 plus the z-score multiplied by 1. Now you're going to have a score between 0 and 10, more or less. There could be outliers. But let's go 50 and 10. That was just for me to show you that this t-score can kind of be whatever range you want it to be. And we'll click enter. And that is literally it. That is the t-score. We're going to throw in an if statement here like we have done in the past, where we say if, open parenthesis, the CMJ average or M2 equals quote quote or is blank, comma, then let's make the t-score quote quote or blank, comma. If that's not the case, then we'll perform this t-score calculation, close the parenthesis and click enter, and we can copy the formula and we'll just paste it down a little bit for now. And these are what our t-scores look like. Now if we want to calculate the t-score not for all athletes or comparing the athlete to everyone else, we want to calculate the t-score for comparing this athlete to just their team, then all we have to do is point this formula at AI2 for the z-score instead of AH2. We've already done these z-score calculations, so all we have to do is copy this formula, paste it over, and change AH2 to AI2, and click enter. If we want to create a t-score that considers the event and the team, then we can copy the formula, paste it over, and change AI2 to AJ2, and click enter. Now we have 3 different t-scores. One of them is comparing the athlete to all other athletes in the database. The second one is comparing the athlete to all other athletes on that athlete's team in the database. And the third t-score is comparing that athlete for that session. So it's comparing the athlete to all other athletes on this athlete's team for the session of which this t-score is calculated. And if you don't understand what I'm talking about, watch the previous scoring videos because we go over all of this in detail. But let's copy these 3 formulas and paste them to the bottom of our sheet. And now we have t-scores in those different situations for all of these athletes for the CMJ average. In the next video, we are going to essentially, you're going to make a decision on which of these types of scores you want to use. And now that you have a good working knowledge of all the different scores because you've watched all these videos and we've talked about how they compare and contrast to one another, you should be able to make an informed decision about what you want to do. And then we will calculate category scores using the score type of your choice. I'll pick one on my own, but you would just do the exact same thing that I'm doing with your score of choice, and we'll create an overall score as well. I hope that this video was helpful. If you got some value out of it, please make sure to give it a like. If not, I'm really sorry, and I'll do better next time, or I'll try to do better next time. And if you enjoy this content in general and the channel has been helpful for you, please make sure to subscribe so that the YouTube algorithms know that I'm doing something that's helping somebody out, at least one person. I'd really appreciate that. And thanks again for watching. I look forward to seeing you in the next video.